Okay, so reflection. You could be reflecting on something in a kind of reflection kind of mode. Outside looking in, somebody could be rejecting, reflecting on something towards you or about you. Okay, let's see. Okay, the Magician in reverse. So trickery, deception, craftiness, illusions, farce, manipulative, poor plan, and wasted talent. Okay, this could have been a bad magician that you reflecting on. Let's see, who's this bad magician energy or magician in reverse? King of Swords in reverse. Lack of structure, rational, cold, abuse of power, dictator, injustice, manipulation. Okay, I feel like this was a failed magician or a bad magician that was in the King of Swords in reverse kind of energy towards you. Remind you, the King of Swords in reverse is also the reason why they do what they do. Lack of structure, abuse of power, just irrational code, just a dictator. They manipulate and also intend injustice towards people. So they didn't have no good intentions in the first place. Let me see, y'all. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Lack of quality, low skill, lack of motivation, lack of ambition or focus, bad reputation, misdirected activity. Now, mind you, this could have been some previous energy you were in. You could be reflecting on some energy you were in the past. And this could explain why you wasn't getting any, making any efforts. Just, just lacking all around. Coming from a background of lacking. Hold on, y'all. Eight of Cups in reverse, stagnation, indecision, staying in a bad situation. Try what is in me. You literally came from a place of stagnation, and you just acquired some bad habits. This even gives me product of your environment type of shit. Just bad instilled values. Just no morals or values probably instilled, but you probably realized that wasn't getting you the results you wanted in life. You know what I'm saying? And you probably realized those results the bad results you were receiving was keeping you stagnant, keeping you in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? Making you disenchanted, probably within yourself and just about life, period. So Six of Pentacles upright, generosity, share wealth, giving and receiving, prosperity, financial support, stability. This is what you was missing. This is probably why it took you so long even to, to even see the error in your ways. Okay? I feel like the financial support and the stability was a major part of what you was missing and probably what turned you mischievous in the first place. But that was something you had to get yourself out of. You have to pull yourself out of it. Not only that, put yourself in a position so now you can share wealth. You can do things a whole different way. Ooh. I think you call judgment on yourself. Judgment, reflection, inner calling, being forgiveness, awareness, awakening. You literally had to have an awakening about the situation you was in and how to get out of it. You literally have to have awakening about your bad ways, your deception, illusions you was creating. But mind you, you also have to realize too, it's because you wasn't given this. You had to literally learn whole new ways. Yeah, that cold, abuse of power, dictator, all of that. That's something you probably took with you into your adulthood. And that's why you didn't have no quality, skill, motivation, no ambition or focus, and a bad reputation. You probably had a reputation of being abusive and dabbling into a misdirected activity out of desperation. But mind you, it sounds like you came from a desperate environment. Knight of Cups upright, romance, charming, graceful, invitations, follow your hearts and dreams. That's what you realized you had to do. You had to realize you couldn't be scared to leave this past person behind you. It was okay to be somebody new. It was okay to have a heart in the first place. Okay? This kind of background, this kind of shit, you literally have to learn how to have a heart first to even be able to follow your hearts and dreams. But that's why you at this place where you don't even mind helping others now. Because you know what it feels like to be here. And not at your own consequence. Just some shit you probably born into. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. King of Pentacles in reverse, failing business, poor financial decisions, materialistic instability, excessive work. This is that shit from that background that you're reflecting on. And you probably having these memories now, because mind you, this probably was like a way past, way long ago, probably decades ago or some shit, depending on how old you are. But you have these kind of reflections to, you know, in the future, which is the future now from when that happened, to remind you not to go back to these places, to remind you of what put you there in the first place, to remind you what was keeping you stuck. You having these memories for a reason, to remind you not to be this person. That's why you having these reflections. And even especially with what's going on in the world, it's, you know, to keep you focused, to keep you, you know, from them old thoughts creeping back in. 3 of Cups upright. So delight, celebrations, parties, gatherings, social events, and friendships. Now, mind you, you went from here. Oh man, we started off here. Now you ended up here. That's a hell of a fucking reflection. I'm not going to say nothing. Let me just see this. Just for confirmation. This is the reason. Another thing that you're reflecting on. Probably wondering. How do I say this? What it was you wasn't seeing back then. It's a part of this judgment. Some of that thought of what was keeping you here. Just to make sure you don't come back around again. I'm going to be honest. If you're going through this reflection, you shouldn't let that be any of your fears. Because the simple fact is you having this reflection lets you know you don't want to go back here. You don't want to go back to being this person. You don't want to go back to feeling this way. Okay? But if you just need an answer, just to have your own sense of closure. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Lack of long-term vision, laziness, lack of reward, being delayed, impatience, limited success, and unfinished work. I don't think you have any of these fears. You don't have to worry about any of these kind of fears creeping back up to you now, because I don't even think you're that same person anymore. All right, y'all.